Okay, today's little webinar here is going to be over the Grading Pro. How do we set this up? How do we get these blocks in to do what we need them to do and to grade it into a surface? So the first thing we want to do is go into the Grading Pro. And then we bring up the Grading Pro. And this is 0.9.0 at this point. We're going to go ahead and add a grading surface. We can either pick the surface that we want to send it into, or we can actually create a surface. We wanted to create a surface. We could do that here. For today's purpose, we're going to put it into our proposed because we want to have a proposed finished surface that we can label, adjust, get volumes from. The next thing we need to do is to add a section reference. That meaning our alignment or corridor or our auto corridor feature lines that we're going to be connecting it to. So station reference, and down at the bottom here it says select an alignment, an auto corridor feature line, only the corridor feature lines only, or corridor plus corridor feature line. So let's go ahead and use the alignment, and we'll pick our alignment. And then it says the auto corridor feature line. One is for station, the other one is for elevation. After we have that, it's going to ask us a grading type, a section, and a placement. So let's go ahead over to our grading setup. Here, if we're going to put our townhomes in, we'll go to section, townhouses. At this point, we can come in and say we can either pick a point or some object feature lines. They could be feature lines, they could be grading objects, etc. So what we'll do is we'll pick the object feature lines. At S, select a civil 3D feature line or press enter to finish. So let's just say I want to put this particular building in. This is my building A, or my townhouse A. The next thing at S is pick the origin point. We're going to say the middle of our townhouse, and we want to go perpendicular to our townhouse. What this does is it creates that object right on the station reference. So that being the alignment, or that being the feature line that you selected. So let's just say this is townhouse A. We can go distance with offset, distance with slope, offset with slope, or slope to surface. Well, let's go distance within offset. So let's just say we wanted it to be 53 feet. And we want it to be 2 foot above our center line. So we have a method, the name of our object, the distance that we want it to go, and the height. So you'll see here is our section reference. You'll see that it's 50 foot back and 2 foot above. Okay. Next thing what we'll do is we'll say save. So now we have a section, which is our townhouse. That was now we can also come in here and we can call this townhouse A if we wanted to. So everything equals each other. So there's our townhouse A and our section. Next is our section placement, where we want it to be in our drawing. And we want it to be every station. So we would come in here and we would go placement, section placement, new. And this is going to be mid of lots, or wherever we want it to be. We could have a range of stations, but this one will do individual. We have a little bit of more freedom of doing this. So we can say, okay, I want it to be in the middle of this, or the endpoint of this line. So we'll say endpoint of line. Then we'll come back in again, individual, endpoint of line. Now again, we can set these snaps up to be endpoint. It would make it a little easier. Okay, so we'll go through and just do these individual. If it was equal distance, we could put from station to station at an equal distance. And we'll go through and we'll do a couple of these. Okay, so I'll do one more. All right, so we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where we want it to be, it's going to be on the left side of our alignment or the right side of our alignment. Our alignment's going this way, so this is going to be the left side and the angle that we want. It's going to be 90 degrees. So we'll say save. After this, we can save it as our default or save it as our template. So we'll say we're going to save this as Web 2 for Webinar 2. Okay, so we save it. You'll see this becomes our new section placement, midpoints of lots, townhouse. The type of grading we're going to call this study 1. Right, if we're going to do many studies with different townhouses, we can also do that. Also, this is study 1. Where we want our feature line settings to be, if we want them to go to a particular site, on a particular layer, with a particular feature style, we could do that. We'll say apply, and you'll see that it goes to buildings, our layer, so on. After we're done, you'll see this turns yellow, and we'll go ahead and we'll zoom out a little bit. So here we can come up and we can apply. So it's going to go ahead and it's going to put those townhouses in. You notice that it skipped that. If I wanted to come back and put that particular townhouse in, all I have to do is just come back into my grading setup, come back to my station placements, midpoints of lots, add an individual station, put that back in there. You'll see it added it in. We'll save it. Now again, I like to come back in and I like to save my, just in case. You'll see that it turned yellow. If we say apply, you'll see that it will go back and it will reapply and add it to our surface, and it is adding it to our surface as we go. We can also do the same with our lot lines. This, we're going to do a little bit of a cheating for time purposes. So I'll go ahead and I'll load my webinar. And this is our lot grades. Again, if we want to take a look at that, that's how our townhomes were created. So if we go back in and take a look at that, you'll see that it was created the same way with the same methods. Townhome, distance 53, 2 foot off, placement, townhomes, the stations, whether I want them to be both sides, left side, and so on. We'll come back to our sections and take a look at it. How we want our section placements to be for our lot lines. That would be at the endpoint of these lines. One caveat to this is when we put in our sections, we attach them to the feature line of extracted auto feature line of the corridor here in case something changes, or if we change information here, change the slope, it would attach itself and get the information from that point instead of the center line. So there's our start point. So I will go ahead and show you what this looks like in section. So there's our section. If we come down and we take a look, you'll see that is our placement. We want it to be 26 foot back off the center line. Then we're going to be going 70 feet from our start point to our high point at 1%, going back 60 feet at minus 1%. Then we're going to come into our swale, coming in negative 33.33, back 33.33, out 5 feet, and then we're going to grade our slope to surface, and it's going to say we want to tie it into the existing ground. So again, coming off of our baseline, we're coming off 26.5 at 0 elevation because we're tying it into that particular elevation at the feature line. So we'll say save. If we take a look here, you'll see that it says the townhome alignment. But when we said the townhome alignment, what we did was we picked our alignment and the corridor feature line, which is that feature line right there. Okay. So if we just want to put some lot lines in also for a quick study, and I want to get rid of the houses or get rid of our study A, I can do that also by coming in here, coming in our lot line, and saying apply. and you'll see it would only do the lot size. Now this here is for us to say there is an error or it does not tie into existing ground. I did that on purpose so you could tell or show that this is the station elevation. It does not tie in, so you can go back and take a look why it does not tie in. So it just does not do it. And you'll see now that it has created these swales in for us along our lot lines in the areas we told them to put them in. Okay, so that's a real quick down and dirty of how this works. We do the swales in the back. When we're done and we have all of our lot lines in and we have all of our buildings in that we want to study, we can just come back in and say apply, and it will grade us our finished product. And if something does change, all we have to do is just change the station or the offset that we want to change, and it will change it graphically and quickly for us. Again, those are to show us the areas it does not tie in, so we can move the section or find out why it does not tie in at those points. So we can come back in, we can take a look here. Once this gets done, you'll see it's grading everything, moving everything, updating everything as per our new information. You see it has put in our condos. It has graded our lots. Again, we'll take a look at this so you can see. Come to our object viewer. Oops. I didn't want to go to Project Explorer. Sorry, guys. We wanted to go into object viewer. There's our lots. And you'll see it's making this distinction whether these lots are further or not. We can go into that on another webinar. How I'm getting that to work also. Objects. Come back in, add objects to give an idea of what it looks like. There we go. There's our reveals. Everything looks the way that we want it to look. Now, if we did change the elevation on these, what we need to do is just come back to our townhouse, come back here. If we wanted these to be 4 foot above center line, all we do is have to say save, and you'll see that the yellow is the one that changed, so that's the one we want to update. We'll say apply. It goes back and does it on its own. It will set these 4 foot above the centerline elevation. If this profile centerline moves left or right, all we have to do is just rerun that and everything will be as per it needs to be. Any questions? I hope this helped everyone. Hopefully everyone finds this a really good tool. I see it has saved a lot of time doing certain things, and there are things that we could do with it, such as ditches, utilities for volumes and so on, and we could do that on another webinar. Hope this helps.